Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Pete's Peak. Today, I'm up at the off-grid camp cabin because I've got something new and exciting to share with you. Now, if you've been following our channel at all, you know that we've been having some issues coming up with the best way to power our cabin build. We're trying to use some of the newest and latest technology, and I'm all about things that will make our life easier and keep the environment quieter while I'm trying to work. And as you know, if you've done any building, that it takes a lot of power to run a job site. I'm not into using the old tools and doing everything manually, so I like my power tools. And I have a lot of battery powered tools, but I don't have every tool that I need that's battery operated. I've needed to be able to run an air compressor and a reciprocating saw and a jigsaw and several tools that I didn't have a battery powered version of. So I've been trying to use a generator to fill in the gaps with the tools that I needed to run. We have a solar generator that we've had a little bit of problems with, so we've been looking for an alternative to that. These folks reached out to me to share their product. We're excited to give it a try. Now, to kind of let you know what to expect from today's video is a product introduction. Now, you know that when I use a product and when I review a product, I like to torture test it and see what it's made of. Today's video is not going to be about that. Today's video is going to be about introducing the product, telling you the statistics and where you can order one for yourself. But be sure and subscribe to our channel because we're going to use this to power our job site. We're going to use it to run our tools, and we may use it to power the cabin when this is all done. Now, what we have for you today is the Oupes Mega 2 power station. And this is a 2048 watt hour power station. And it packs a 2500 watt AC pure sine wave inverter. And one of the things that I like the most about this power station so far is the fact that it can charge at a 1600 watt rate plugged into your wall. So you can charge this in 1.3 hours. That's very fast charging. That means that gets you back to work quicker. Now, just like the other power station that we use, this can also be charged by using solar panels. I do not have the solar panels that are compatible with this, so I can't demonstrate that. You can also charge this power station through plugging it into the cigarette lighter of your car. So if you're on the job site and you're struggling to keep up with the power demands and you need to fire up the truck and plug it in, you can charge this through that as well. Let me show you a few things that come in the box when you unbox this Oupes power station. So the first thing, you've got all kinds of charging cables. So of course you have your AC wall outlet charging cable. You have your Anderson cable. You have your Anderson to car charging adapter. There's an Anderson 7909 cable. So this will plug into your 7909 cables. And then you also have an Anderson to MC4 cable. So lots of different options for plugging in and charging your power station. And then of course you got your product manuals and everything else in the box to go with it. This power station is also ran by the lithium iron phosphate batteries, which packs a lot of punch, but it's not made with those rare earth metals, which makes it easier to dispose of at the end of its life. But the end of its life is going to be a long time from now. It's rated for 3,500 charges up to 80%. So you're going to get 10 years worth of charges out of this machine. Another cool feature that this power station has is that the charging rate is adjustable. So you can change your AC charging rate from 800 watts to 1600 watt. Another use that this charging station would be good for is as an uninterrupted power supply. So if you run a business or if you run maybe a home office where you can't stand for your computer to go down, and when you have it plugged into the wall charging, you can also be running your appliances, your computers, all of those things off of it. And so if you have your internet and your computer and everything set up to run through this, then if the power goes out, nothing changes. It's uninterrupted and you continue to have power to your machines. These things have so many great features, and I'm charging my camera batteries right now, and I'm also charging the battery to my saw because it was dead, and I'm actually going to get to work on the cabin as soon as I finish this video. And I also just wanted to show, you know, I've got power tools that, like I said, I didn't have a battery powered jigsaw, so now I can run my jigsaw right off of the power supply and we're good to go. Now, some things I wanted to point out that are a little bit different about the Oupes power supply that I've not seen in some of the other machines we've looked at is the number of connections that you've got available here on the front of this, because this is pretty awesome. An Anderson 12 volt 30 amp connection right here on the front, as well as your USB-C rated for 100 watts and your quick charge 3 amp USB-A outlets here on the front. Then you have 4 20 amp 110 outlets, AC outlets right here, as well as a 30 amp RV outlet. So you can plug your RV directly into this and run your RV off of it. Then you have a regular 12 volt 10 amp socket for like your car type plug-ins. They really thought of everything on this one, it seems like. And we are excited to get this here at our cabin and put it to work. We've been several weeks trying to work up here at the cabin with no power, and this is going to solve that. This cabin is on our property where we live, so we have power just down the hill. And where I don't have the solar panels to charge this on site right now, I can just take it home of a night when I go down to the house, plug it in and charge it back up so that it's ready for the next day's work. And that's going to work out just great for us. Now, a couple of other great features about the Oupes power station is the fact that you can actually connect additional batteries. Now, you have to buy those separately, but you can connect up to an additional 4 batteries to this unit to run a total of 10,240 watt hours through this power station. That's enough to power a big job site. In addition to being able to connect additional batteries, there's also an Oupes app where you can connect your machine and you can show all of the statistics. So right now we're putting out 44 watts and the battery is running at 84 degrees and we are at 97% charge, which matches up with what's on the screen there. So we're not plugged into charge or anything like that, but if you had solar panels, you can monitor what your charging is doing based on that. So pretty cool setup that you've got there. More technology to keep track of what's going on with your unit. Now, on our cabin build, we don't need just loads of power. So this one unit will run pretty much everything that we need. And once we get ready to start camping here, we're gonna put in a few lights. We wanna be able to keep our phones charged and things like that, but we're not gonna be running, you know, large appliances or anything like that. So this is going to be plenty of power to do everything we want to do up here. What I'd like to see in the future is for us to get a couple of solar panels put on the roof of the cabin to where we can leave this up here and keep it charged on its own. That way we kind of have a self-sufficient little campsite up here, and I think that would be great. So that's what we're shooting toward. And like I mentioned in our introduction, if you've not subscribed to our channel, be sure and do that, because we're going to put this thing to work on here as we finish up this cabin build. We've almost got the outside completed. We still have to put our battens on the siding and trim out a few things, but we're getting close to getting the outside finished. And just in time, we're getting late into the year and it's getting colder and colder. I'm going to finish up my wood stove install tonight. Then we will be just about ready to start finishing the inside of the cabin. We expect to be using this quite a bit. We have rough cut oak lumber that we're going to have to rip, and we'll be using our table saw and we'll run that off of this. So we'll put it through its paces and we'll show you what it's made of. But guys, there are lots of great uses for these solar generators and these battery powered power stations. Whether you live in a remote area that maybe you lose power every time the wind blows hard, there's another tree on the power lines and you lose power, and you don't want to lose a freezer full of meat, this will run your freezer. That makes it a great option to keep on hand and be able to keep your freezer running strong so you don't lose that meat. Could save you a lot of money in the long run. Maybe you live off-grid and you want that additional power where you can plug in your solar panels and keep this charged and have power. That's another option. Running a campsite like we are here, this is going to be perfect for that. Or, like I mentioned, it has an RV 30 amp plug on it. So if you are in the camping scene and you use an RV, this might be a great option for that as well. So be sure and check out the Oupes power station. This is the Mega 2, and they're running a sale right now through December 4th. So only going to be for a few more days, and you can get 10% off. The price point on this is $13.49, but you can get 10% off until December 4th. And I'm also going to put a code and a link in my description. If you use code PPHH, Peaks Peak Hobby Homestead is what that stands for, you can get an additional 5% off of your purchase. And that lets them know that you saw it on my channel. I hope you enjoyed today's video and seeing the solution that we came up with for powering our cabin build, because we definitely need to get back to work. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and we appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good day.